I'm on. Okay. Ani, bonsoir, and good evening, and welcome to special meeting of council. I'd like to call this meeting to order. I need a mover and a seconder to adopt the agenda. Dave and Roger. All those in favor? Thank you. Disclosure, any disclosure of pecuniary interest? Seeing none. So this evening, there's a public hearing scheduled for one zoning bylaw amendment. And the application is number ZBA 22-19FR, and it's for Kyle and Marissa Bocage. The Planning Act requires that the public hearing be held before council decides whether or not to pass the zoning bylaw amendment. The public hearing serves two purposes. First, to present to council and the public the details and background to a proposed rezoning. And second, to give comments from the public and the agencies before council makes its decision. Monsieur Dumont will provide a summary of the applications. From there, the applicant will be requested to make a presentation via live webcast, if present, followed by questions from the public via live cast, either in favor or against the proposal. Council will then have the opportunity to question the applicant, the director of planning, or anyone giving a presentation. The zoning bylaw amendment will then be considered by council later this evening. Monsieur Dumont, could you please advise how public notice was provided?
So a notice of public hearing was posted in the municipal office and was sent by mail to the assessed owners within 120 meters of the property subject for the proposed zoning bylaw amendment this evening, and to those persons and agencies likely to have an interest in the application. The notices were sent on October 26th, 2022, being over 20 days prior to this evening's meeting. Included with the notice was an explanation of the purpose and effect of the proposed zoning bylaw amendment and a key map showing the location of the subject property.
Okay, I now declare this portion of the hearing to be a public hearing to deal with application number ZBA 22-19FR, Kyle and Marissa Bocage. Monsieur Dumont, will you please summarize the purpose and effect of the proposed zoning bylaw amendment and provide any additional information and correspondence relevant to this application?
Thank you. So this application this evening that's being held in front of council is for a zoning bylaw amendment application. There was another development application called a severance application that was brought forward to the planning board, who's the approval authority for severances. So the difference here this evening is council is the approval authority for zoning bylaw amendments. Both applications were submitted concurrently or together at the time. The intent was to create two residential rural lots from the subject property. And the subject property is located on Delamere Road in the municipality of French River. And those two residential lots that are being proposed to be severed, which were conditionally approved by the board on November 10th, 2022. And one of those conditions was to have the severed lots, Lot A and Lot B, rezoned from rural to residential rural. And the reason for that is to recognize the intended use of the lot. And what that means basically is when you go from a rural to a residential rural lot, you're looking at more of an estate lot, smaller lot. And so to give you a little bit of context of the lots that were severed at the board level, Lot A was 2 hectares in lot area with a lot frontage of 140 meters and is presently vacant. And the other lot, Lot B, is approximately 0.89 hectares in lot area and has a frontage of just over 60 meters, 60.96 meters to be exact on the proposal, and is also presently vacant. The retained lands, or the lands that are being kept from the owner, are approximately 57.61 hectares in area and has approximately 309 meters of frontage and is also vacant. So again, this evening, the intent is to recognize the intended use of the lot, and you do that by a zoning bylaw amendment, which is under Section 34 of the Planning Act. And with that said, we also, when we look at these development applications, we circulate to ministries, municipalities, and anyone that has an interest in the application. So when we went through the agency circulation process, we did receive comments from the municipality of French River. So the municipality, and then, again, this is conditions that were part of the severance, but overall forms part of my report for both applications. So in terms of the severance at the time, the comments were that the municipality had no objection to the severance or rezoning. However, parkland dedication, again, this is for the severance, and road transfer will form as conditions of approval. Secondly, we received supportive comments from the health unit, Sudbury District Health Unit, for the severance for both the severed and retained lots, which were capable of development for installation of a septic system. Lastly, we received comments from Bell Canada, who had no concerns with respect to the proposed applications. Our office did not receive any further objections or concerns from the public or neighboring properties in the area, either by phone call or by email. So with that said, the application that's brought forth to council this evening, in my professional opinion, planning opinion, that it conforms to the official plan for the Sudbury East Planning Board. It complies with the municipality of French River's zoning bylaw, which is 2014-23, and is consistent with the provincial legislation, specifically the 2020 provincial policy statement. And for those reasons, the application can be supported from a planning perspective.
Thank you. I understand that the applicants are not here as well. I don't see any members of the public, and there's nobody online waiting for us right now. All right. So are there any questions from council? Does council have any questions for Matt with regards to this? Seeing none, I declare this public hearing to be concluded. It's now in order for council member to make a motion and for council to consider the application. So I need a mover and a seconder to approve. Renee and Bob.
It is duly moved and seconded. Be it resolved that bylaw 2022-52, being a bylaw to amend zoning bylaw 2014-23 as amended, Kyle Landry and Marissa Bocage, be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed.
Thank you. All those in favor? Thank you. If there's no further questions, I declare this public hearing to be concluded. The zoning bylaw amendment will be, we've already done that. I'm skipping myself. Please be advised that there is a 20-day appeal period, during which time any person or public body may, no later than 20 days after the day of the giving of written notice, as required by section 3418 of the Planning Act, is completed, appeal to the local planning appeals tribunal by filing with the clerk of the municipality a notice of appeal setting out the objections to the bylaw filing, with the clerk of the municipality a notice of the appeal setting out. I'm sorry, it's printed so small I can't see. Keep going over the same line. All right, and the reason in support of the objection, accompanied by a fee prescribed under the local planning appeal tribunal. During this period, no building permit may be issued or other work commenced. So I need a motion to adjourn. Dean and Willie. All those in favor? Thank you. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you, everyone. I'll see you Tuesday.